A virtual crowd, my friend Bebop in the front row. So that's kind of cool.
What's
we
up,
can see their
Bebop?
Discord avatars. Yeah, exactly, right? I actually can recognize someone in that digital crowd. That's cool. But yeah, nice to have Thorn back. Always good to see some banter. Love that he's still going hard on you, Jason. Never gets old. As Hobbit taking down Bit won't get old either, because that's the opening kill for Gambit, as they'll at least bring this back to a 4-on-4. Bit being gone, Exile as well.
Yeah, they can pause it here. They can slow things down, NaVi. Very passive. Inters all the way back in pit. Gambit is a heavy lean towards the B bomb site. I mean, they're sticking to it. They've just bought into this straight up. I believe Shiro's even boosted on the flower pot, so pretty dedicated to that side of the map. And NaVi's doing everything they can. That pop flash is just thrown in banana. A little sound cue to make them think that they're starting to clear the half wall to keep them frozen at B as long as possible.
Shot coming back in, enters, only gets one. Electronics able to bust out from the apartment and get him in return, and they'll swarm in, take the USP, and now try and hold out the pit position. Bomb to be planted as well, as Simple just watches to make sure no one's going to wrap back around at brackets. Simple waiting as well to see if anyone's going to go that way, as Shiro looks to try and wrap around, and Electronic getting the kill on NaVi will make this retake less and less likely. So despite that they got that kill early on Banana, this round's gone. And even though it's a 2-on-3, not the worst situation, Jason, they don't have kits and they've got some armor, so they want to save that into the next round. They're going to back off and just see if they can't do something better in round number 2.
Yeah, upgrade to head armor for ultra cheap, right? And then get those deagles. Maybe even some SMGs, see what you can do with those. But that extra head armor might come into play in the next round, because remember, there's likely to be some Galils, likely to be some SMGs for the NaVi side as well. So that head armor can go a long way. And yeah, they were pretty much entirely locked out of this bomb site on the retake with that shot from Electronic, who's done it very well for himself in the pistol rounds that we've seen NaVi play in the series so far. 3 MAC-10s.
The MAC-10s can certainly be punishing and a daunting task to go against, but the AKs certainly will also be able to cover off a lot of the angles on entry. I know it's very map dependent, and a lot of the calls for weapons, we know Dust 2 has so many long angles, the SMGs aren't as prominent. Certainly not on the CT side early on, but there you go. I was going to say, Inferno still has a decent amount of those long angles where rifles are deadly, even in this situations, and you certainly would still want to have them against Eagles, as Simple gets an excellent shot with the AK to start it off. MAC-10, there you go. Distance doesn't even matter this time, apparently. Boomich sprays down 2, and they can't get anything in response. They will throw a few nades out as Perfecto falls to 13 HP. Simple gets a second. The penetration power of the AK, and not a single gun lost. And 1-2 make it 3 kills on MAC-10s that I could see. So that's a decent amount of money gained by those players as well. And those players, of course, being Boomich and Perfecto.
Yeah, that's quite nice. Boomich with the opening double kill as well as they turn the corner. That's huge. And now you can just send those MAC-10s into the fray and get them to farm up. All USPs unarmored, a couple flashbangs picked up by NaVi, so look for them to set up a stack at a choke point for the pop flashes, probably towards the half wall of Banana. As NaVi heads towards Coffins, they want to be able to crunch on the initial Banana take soon, when this Molotov subsides, you imagine.
Shiro holding in tight to the wall so as not to be spotted as his teammates brutally get murdered behind him. Boomich on 4.
Hell.
Can we get a Boomich ace? Look at the money he has already. That's just foolish. NaVi's just like, all right, guys, I'm just going to sit here in the corner, play hide and go seek. They're letting Boomich go for it, too. Boomich ace, turn around, Boomich. There it is. He's got all 5.
Nice. Well, now the question for NaVi is, what do you do with 3 MAC-10s? You're, you know, victim of your own success here heading into the first gun round. It's going to be an AWP at M4 against 3 MAC-10s. Yeah, maybe not rush, but this is where, I don't know, maybe it's too telegraphed at this level too, where Gambit's going to say, yeah, that we know they have multiple MAC-10s still because we haven't gotten any kills. I think you have to be really conscious about the timing on a Halls pop, really conscious about the timing on a B hit as well.
I mean, you're right. The way of putting it is you are a victim of your own success, but look at Boomich's cash, right? He buys utility, he still has 9850. I mean, they can sacrifice 1 round. Formerly, that would have been the full reset. 2 years ago, I guess maybe more than that now, almost 3. Time flies during this online era, but yeah, you would have said, yeah, go for it. This is what we would call the bonus round almost.
It's a good problem to have. We'll put it that way.
I agree. That's a good way. Good way to look at it. Got 99 problems, and this one's a good one. Got 99 problems, and Boomich ain't one. Because he got the ace. There you go.
That even flows.
It's all coming back to me now, Jason.
Yeah, like riding a bike.
You keep saying that to me.
I know.
Start to take it personally.
I don't have a second platitude. Inters gonna just sit on Rap's side, and Shiro is bringing his AWP to CT spawn to the B bomb site, but he's gonna realize very soon that that's the wrong idea. Exile forced into the cover, blinded just a little bit. Another flashbang comes out. Inters, ooh, not even a kill inside the site. Exile's got one, but he can't get more. And Shiro's still locked out from the early rotation. This might be another save from Gambit.
Might have to be already. NaVi looking to go up 4-0. And that good problem continues at this point in time. Boomich, in fact, better still. You keep the MAC-10. You get inside the site, you can upgrade for free. Yeah, M4 CT side, or excuse me, T side, not as great as an AK, obviously, but it's a rifle. It'll do the job, and it'll do the job against very limited weapons. Although there will still be an AWP and 2 M4s for the CTs to work with, and they're going to have to find a way to get Shiro activated. That AWP is going to need a pick very early. They cannot go a man down. I'm going to call it right now, Jason. They need the opener.
Okay. All right. So you're saying the opening kill next round wins. That's what I'm hearing out of your voice.
That's basically what I'm saying. And I sit here knowing that as a commentator, I'm likely going to be wrong.
Hey, it happens. Not to me, but to other people it does.
Yeah, of course.
I'll tell you what's scary is seeing a NaVi with all these smiles on their faces so early on. And a NaVi who's taken the MAC-10 kills that Boomich got and upgraded into a free M4 on Bit and on Boomich. So 2 of those MAC-10s transferred into rifles for free.
I love the way you said free, and I was trying to think of why or what I could say to it, but yeah, cool. Jason O'Toole, everyone.
Yeah. Welcome to inside my head.
I think I want to go home already.
All right, Hobbit heals a little bit of information. Yep.
Yeah, just that audible cues, right, as they're making a little bit of noise at the top of Banana with the bomb, so it's something to work with. MP9 for Exile. Again, we said first kill, Jason. We'll see if that proves to be true, as Hobbit's going to relocate himself inside of that B site with the Molotov now down as well at the top of Banana to buy himself some time. But Bomb is also heading down. In fact, all 3 players that were there are heading down toward the apartment position.
NaVi might be finding an excellent timing again. Gambit was holding onto this stack, but you can see Inters on the minimap just rotating away. He was a 3rd player over towards Cubby on the other side of mid. Here comes the brackets take. Flashbangs, utility. Nafany traded off. Shiro still alive with the AWP. It's a leg shot. He's going to back off into the flames. It forces him back forward into the hands of Simple, who helps to get a double kill. And there's his second. And NaVi have access to the A-bomb site.
Absolutely, they do. And they'll take it. Hobbit's going to rotate around and get toward the arches, try and make something of this, as he has a 1-on-3 situation to go against. Going to sneak it out toward the top mid-side wall. Nothing happening as of that point yet, and no one to be found. So this round looking increasingly like it's out of his control. Perfecto gets the kill in response. And just like that, the round again to NaVi 5-0. Another emphatic start by the Ukrainian team. And I stand corrected, Jason, as I said, because the first kill was actually by the CTs.
I'll throw you a lifeline there, though. You expected it to be like a pick, right? You didn't expect it to be like the first kill.
Exactly.
Like,
it wasn't a trade.
Yeah, we got you.
All right, thank you.
5-0. NaVi came in today looking hot. No questions about what NaVi showed up. Deep Molotov from the CT side. But an early stalemate. Not even a whole lot of utility exchange at Banana, which we normally see, but both teams content to take it for relatively cheap. Or both teams are content to be cheap in Banana for the moment.
Yes.
Both
Save
teams
that
didn't
cash
take
monies.
it. Yeah.
Smoke out that extinguishes their own molly. That was a miscall and misplay. Or did the seats? Okay, I'm a bit confused because the lines I saw made it look like.
No, the CT smoke's at half wall. The T smoke is the one at car. That
right. Okay. They extinguished it. It came out at the same time. Okay, I was confused. That misled me. I thought the CT one actually was misplaced because of that, but then there was one down, so it actually did bounce a second time. I was gonna say that would have been some bad coordination, but it was by design.
Bad coordination and a miss smoke. That would have been a rough sequence. A little bit of damage through the smoke onto Hobbit. Molotov is really the only time-buying piece of utility they have. HE grenade is out. Again, Shiro pulled just a little bit. This time he falls back in time towards Rap's side. He's going to get aggressive as well. He wants to pick him up as they head towards up lane. And there it is, but immediately traded.
Exile holding inside his sight, though, has a player in pit in the form of Inters to try and support him, and he's going to get up on top of the bicycle. That's like riding a bike, Jason, and it's going to work out brilliantly because they look his direction, and Exile, the multi-kill master, finds 2 more again as Perfecto, desperate to go inside, even runs, guns, and spray transfers all at the same time, but he should probably focus on chewing bubblegum and walking first.
Yeah, not as much production as Navi would have liked in that hit. I actually thought they had great positioning. 2 lane, 1 ready to bust out of the smokes and halls, and 1 ready to bust through the smoke on Rap side. Although Exile did hear his footsteps getting inside this smoke. I think it was just a bit uncoordinated. You could see here, Inters gets this hit. Exile gets that one before anyone's really ready to take advantage of their attention being drawn away. So 5-1 in the favor of Navi. Plenty of money built up for the Navi attack as well. But that was a good, solid win for Gambit to get started on.
And Gambit's going to want to build on this immediately, but Shiro's already pushed back inside of the CT connector by a Molotov. AWP for him. Finally. And kill for him as he takes down Simple Op versus Op. And now they'll have to reconsider the approach because they didn't really bait much out defensively from the CTs, and they still go down a man. Shiro's going to relocate as well, just to keep things a little bit edgy, a little bit unsure. And all 4 players are going to collect themselves in B from Navi's side because the rotation's coming in right now from Bit crawling in through the underpass so as not to be spotted by anyone who might be peeking down middle. That's going to be a full execution. I like how they give Perfecto the bomb. He just gives it right back. Like, yeah, no, I'm not taking that, bro.
Yeah.
Electronic will have it instead. Smokes are out. Hobbit, Oranges too, with a quick bounce flash, can peek behind this, but they aren't in, so he's actually gone a little bit too early with that, and he realizes it, trying to find a better position, but the Molotov's down behind. He's just got to hold the angle. He'll manage to do it. Shiro gets one as well, but then Electronic and Perfecto come in together, and it doesn't matter which one of them has the bomb now, Jason, because it's planted, although it might matter for Electronic, because as he plants it, the nade goes in his direction. He, the hotter target of the two, will now try and work his way back around toward the chapel, and the rotations from the other two players a little bit behind. Inters and Exile just getting towards CT connector now as they came from the far side of the A site, and they'll work together to chapel. Shoulder shows. Electronic smartly doesn't go any further, and he's able to bait out the shots, but they aren't able to control. He does at least get around to trade off his teammate, but has to be aware they're both coming from the same position. Looks for the headshot. Inters gets it instead. Does he have the time? He's got a kit. Should, and it should be Gambit's second round.
Yeah, but that's real close. Electronic almost gave himself an opportunity to pop right back up. The opening kills almost didn't even matter because the trades were so damn good from Navi. And I think the real problem was if Navi wanted to win that 2 versus 3, Electronic needed to at least get 1 in Survivor, 2 in that back halls position. Once he gives it up, it becomes so difficult. Perfecto's essentially dead. He had to take that fight towards CT spawn because the flank was open. 5-2 for Navi, but that's 2 in a row for the defense.
Yep, 2 in a row, and CT side, they can easily start to claw their way back in. It goes back to what we said about those bonus rounds now, though, Jason, because remember, Boomage was up around 10K. They still have a decent amount of cash on Navi.
Yeah, a decent amount. It has dwindled, though.
It's almost going to work itself out, though, that if they can get a bomb plant, that the bonus will build up by the time they break down, so it shouldn't be too punishing.
That's the real key. They did make enough money to have like 4 rounds of buys, even if they're all losses. So that's pretty incredible for NaVi. Some very clean, very solid wins to start this game. And for Gambit, in terms of economy, back is still against the wall. 4 players beneath $1,000, which is not great. NaVi, an opening kill again coming up mid. This time a second. And that's even before Exile gets involved. No access to brackets for NaVi in round number 8. And no access to anything. They get shut down completely.
Yeah, Exile looking his usual self defensively, finds another 2 kills. And that was a very strong hold at brackets, like you say. NaVi was on the roof. Exile was underneath, and I think Inters was there as well, so they had a really, really solid positioning. No one at all getting killed. And NaVi now has to consider their options. As we said, though, that lost round bonus builds up enough that 3 losses in a row, and they're still going to buy. And I think simple, yes, he did. Okay, the AWP did come out. See if we can do anything with it. Down toward mid, flash high, simple tries to peek banana, needs to be careful not to fall off it too much because look at the boost they've got at the top. The AWP of Shiro is elevated, trying to see down mid, and no, he's actually not going to hit it, but Electronic still falls.
Yeah, Exile pushes down to peer into alt mid, get some information. With the cover of that boost, it's huge. And NaVi might get lured into a B hit. It's NaFi with full utility, gets Hobbit with full utility as well. There's 2 Molotovs and 2 smokes to delay any hit that's to come in. NaVi, they might want to sit this one out, but the next one is going to be brutal.
Well, they might want to, but they don't know it. And they don't want to at all. From their perspective of things, is the fire on the box doesn't actually reach NaFi, so he's able to stand above it and then fall down inside of it. He'll put a smoke out to extinguish as Hobbit comes into the picture. Look at Shiro, already rotating around, already boosted up. Simple gets taken down from behind, and Perfecto at least salvages something of some self-honor, but nothing for the team, and we're back to within 1. Good response, 4 in a row for Gambit.
4 in a row, and again, the last 2 rounds has only been 1 death from Gambit. They've only lost a single player who's had to rebuy weapons, so now it's their turn to build up this huge bank that NaVi got the chance to do in the first 5 rounds. As you said, though, I mean, advantage to the T side with the losing bonus built up, and any plant is going to give them a full buy. And I still hear, I think they'll have 1 more.
Yeah, they should have. It's going to be a scrappy buy. Bit could, actually, so could Perfecto for that matter. They could drop an op, but then they would be pretty defenseless in terms of armor themselves. So they could discuss that as an option, certainly. Or do they just try and get some utility out? Simple's certainly getting quite vocal during this timeout. Them to use it this time, NaVi, because as we mentioned at the end of the first game, Gambit used all 4 in the first half to get things rolling. They're alive a little bit earlier in this particular map.
I think we've all at least got our wish in this second map, or in the early going, in these first 9 rounds that have been completed. It's the Gambit that's going to be intimidating. I'm sure we were all holding our breath a little bit at 0 to 5. We know it's a long half, but still, wasn't looking good for Gambit, but they've come back emphatically and looking like they're about to tie things up. NaFi's going to get aggressive down banana all the way. Danger could be lurking around anyone or inside of these smokes. Big risk being taken.
Enters with a good position to help Exile out, because he'll be the first point of contact when they round that corner. And with the aggro pulled, Exile is easily able to collect. He not only assists the first, but finds the second one on his own, and then Enters, still alive in all of that, is able to take down Bit. Perfecto, 1 on the Tech 9. It's Hobbit that he gets, but as he wraps around, he's actually picked up an AK. Could make this costly as he gets Exile as well. Watch the low HP. Enters is extremely tenuously stuck at the back of the site, and as he wraps around, he should be able to spot him out. Jumps up, but NaFi thankfully gets back into a position of power just in the nick of time to save his teammates, and it's 5-5. But as we saw after the timeout, partial buy to reestablish the economy.
Yeah, and Inters, you could see making himself as small a target as possible, sucking in that gut and tucking it into the corner, just praying he's not going to be found. 5-5, and you're exactly correct. A little bit of an econ round in the previous one, so that this round they could have the full buy. Simple with an op and 4 rifles around it. Still, 5 in a row to start the map for NaVi, 5 in a row in response from Gambit, and their defense is off and running. And now NaVi have the unenviable prospect of having to burn through like 2 to 3 full buys before they get a reprieve.
So enters at the top of middle is going to delay a little bit with smoke. Hobbit waiting as well over toward B. Has the first bit of fire already in position. I believe that was thrown by his teammate, but now he will wait to see if he can get his out at the right time. Perfecto and Boomich, the only two from NaVi currently in that banana position. And NaVi's going to walk in. Perfecto, I think, wins this if he goes any further. Because he's on the outside of that smoke. And he's elevated enough that should be an easy headshot. Okay, all right, I take it all back. I'm sorry. I've lied to you again. Simple's got NaVi down. Okay, there's some normality, at least, from that push into banana. But my goodness, if I do that again, chat, time me out and let Moses solo cast for 10 minutes.
Oh, please no. That's
I was gonna say that's more punishment for you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what did I do? I feel like this almost has. I don't know. I was gonna say I would assume this would be just a save call from NaVi. 35 seconds left. They do have plenty of nades, but Simple is so low, and he's got the bomb on the other side of the map. So I guess the idea: throw this fake towards the B bomb site, try and get the kills there, try and force the evacuation, and you have a plan here. But with 20 seconds left, I don't know. Again, they're not even really going for kills yet. It's too slow at the B bomb site. And Simple's going to have to make his play, and there's still two players here. Yeah, easy ending.
Worth pointing out on the kill totals currently, everyone on the server has now got one, but Bit is 1 and 7. So, Jason, you better hope he's that second half player again this time.
Bit has never let me down since the introduction of BitWatch. That was 2 days ago.
Is that kind of like a Fitbit?
It's close. Less Bluetooth.
Gotcha, okay. All right, well, it's Shiro that's backing off from middle this time. No AWP boost, nothing fancy or crazy. Let's try and open up middle, and that's exactly where NaVi are going. So 5 rounds for them to start it off, responded immediately by Gambit, who gets 6 on the trot, and Exile trying to add to that will be the one tasked with holding off what looks to be a pretty aggressive B play with these pistols. They'll get a smoke out in the hallways. That's where NaVi are actually heading at this exact moment, but a flash onto him. They're going to push through that naturally. One's already in the pit. We didn't quite catch it from Shiro's perspective, but good thing we're there because he's the one that needs to get the kills, and he's being wrapped on. Good shot on Inters, but Shiro holds his ground. Unfortunately, now his ground is slightly muddied. The fog's rolled in and the smoke deployed in front of library. Boomich, therefore, is able to jump back up toward the apartments, and they'll watch this with pistols. An M4 for Bit, and holding on a 3-on-3 retake. Thankfully, Bit, the one with the M4, is the one that's also in the pit because he jumped in to get that kill, and maybe he'll come alive now, Jason, as the nade will do a bit of damage. Take that back. It barely touched Shiro. And he'll continue to walk in with the AWP. Hobbit the kill. Bits wide indeed. AWP gets the shot back. The pistol in the sight. It's Simple that has to hold. He's got to reload. Ooh, NaVi was slow to get in position, but they'll get it, and they're on the defuse just barely in time.
I think he thought that Shiro was definitely going to get the kill with the M4. That's a close round. And it all comes down. Bit only able to get the one kill. That flank in holes was huge. There was so much utility as well for the CT side to flush everyone into the open. Even though it's an even 3-on-3 and NaVi's got good positioning, the nades that Gambit had to bring to bear was such a powerful addition. 7-5, but that's the closest NaVi's got in some time. Close, but no cigar. 3 rounds left for NaVi to add on to their round total.
Yeah, if they end this at 10-5, man, what a turn that would be. And that would certainly start to play into their heads a little bit. It would also mean they steal each other's picks today. And we'd settle it on Mirage, which was a tough ask last time as well. Especially for NaVi. Hobbit, Orange is 1 this time, wants to play up closer on the barrels, waiting to see if utility will be thrown his direction. Molotov's already extinguished and expired. They put NaVi a bit closer to CT and Jason. They've got Inters rotating around on this.
Yeah, they do. Better get here quick. Ooh, missed shot from Shiro. Smokes up on left mid. Smokes up now in front of library as well. That opens up the possibility for NaVi to head to CT spawn through arches. Bomb is going to be there as well. Deep nade and a Molotov to deny access to that. And that might actually time out the smoke. That's actually a perfect Molotov from Inters. That might force Na'Vi back. That might scare them away from the initial idea.
And Inters just went over to boost the player on Flowers, who's still there now. He's not left. They didn't want to shuffle the B positioning, but you're right. Scares Na'Vi enough, and Hobbit now has control from Library as Electronic waits outside the door to try and take that engagement. Hobbit finds that as well. Bix trying to do more, but look at the absolute slaughter on the site. Hobbit even swings to get that shot as far away as possible, and the rest of the kills light up in blue. Gambit, 8 in a row.
It's hard to improvise like a plan B when that gets destroyed in that fashion. Well done from Inters, just completely denying access to everything Na'Vi wanted. And that smoke as well that was thrown, a little bit of a gap in front of that Library that stops the first player, Boomich, coming around that corner. Gambit's passive defense works magnificently. 3-round lead still, Na'Vi blanked. 8-0 run for Gambit.
Pretty ridiculous turn of events. Has to be a response, surely, from Na'Vi before the end of this half. 10 in a row would just be disastrous. Again, Mirage, I say it again, is the last map in this series as we get ready for an execution-based take on B. Shiro, Hobbit, and Nafni setting a triangle up to try and shut this down, but who's going to have vision? How are they going to try and get each other back into positions of relevance as the smokes are already landing? Shiro thinks better of it. He thoughts to try and slow them down with utility, but realizes, hang on, I've got an off. And I don't see any more smokes or flashes coming over the wall, so he positions himself instead to get the kill. They have lost Hobbit, but it's still 3 in the site, and they may not anticipate new boxes. Nafni's going to wait for his opportunity to strike, and it's given to him now as Perfecto walks out. It doesn't even look that direction. They can't see it from water either, and a self-smoke to give him an angle as well to cover off. Banana, watch out up close, and Shiro gotten simple down. And just like that, Gambit survived with 4 alive despite that B take.
It's wild. Gambit's not giving Na'Vi any opportunities. Where Navi's like ready for the follow-up fight to come, Gambit's backing off and holding a new angle and waiting for them to overextend. This is a masterclass from Gambit in these past 9 rounds. They have done such a good job. Shiro doing great work with the op. Full support of his teammate inside of the bomb site, even chucking a flashbang up into the sky to make sure Na'Vi couldn't reach him. Here we go, last round of the first half. Last round for Na'Vi to get to 6. They've been stuck here for so long.
Gambit has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. It took half the first map and a little bit of this. Shiro waiting passively to watch off the boiler doorway with the AWP. This time might have a chance to fire. He's going to peek out and actually... Ooh, Simple's there, but the smoke's still in a strong enough fashion to disallow any vision. So he waits instead to see if he slides out, and Simple sprays in. And as that fades, though, they chase down the AWP, and Inters pops out perfectly from Cubby and is able to get a kill. Exile adds to that as well. It covers off the balcony, but they have lost the op now, which means, oh, they may lose position. Exile is just so damn good defensively. 10 in a row for Gambit to close the half. 10-5 the score.
That's disgusting. What a great sequence. Incredible defense. And Na'Vi could just never get a hold after those first 5 rounds. They never had any understanding of the best way to attack the weaknesses, to attack these bomb sites. Gambit didn't really give them any to take advantage of. That's a filthy, filthy first half from Gambit on Navi's pick. So a 5-round lead for Gambit, and they're down 1 map in the series. Na'Vi would love to just finish this up and close it out here. What kind of a CT side can they put together? Us 2 was a team effort. Bit, Simple, Perfecto, and Electronic were the 4 highest fraggers in the server, including the Gambit players. We're going to need that deep of a performance now as well.
Apparently you just have to poke the bear with Bit as well, right? Because he definitely stepped up a lot. Unfortunately, his teammates stopped getting kills at the time that he started. He's almost caught the rest of the team as Simple waits toward the arch this time. USP. Flash too far, too deep. Spots 2, and that's his cue to leave, to back away. As Bit stuck inside of the site. Has a problem. He's being pinched. Rapping from either side. He needs his teammates, specifically at Graveyard and at Pit, to do decent work, but they jump above. The Electronic at least gets one back. They're inside the site, however, and a safe plant backside. Electronic's going to take that away. How has he managed to do this? Staying alive in the most obvious and predictable of positions, but using the angles perfectly, as now he'll bring his teammate back in as well, and Boomich. Oh, Library, this could be... All right, spotted. I was going to say very smart from NaVi. He still gives the shadow of doubt, though, right? He still hasn't gone. And he could wrap back through apartments as well because he split the defense up. But it looks like B is his thought after all.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He's forcing the NaVi players to split up. He's forcing them to either make the decision to stay 2 at A, and you retake the B bomb site, or he's found one-on-one duels everywhere he goes. Problem is, I mean, you obviously can't ever know where that other player is. Although Boomich is so deep into the site. Oh no, he's giving it up. Boomich a little bit nervous on the trigger. NaVi's got the P250, closing the gap. Shooting around, and Boomich has got it, thankfully. Thankfully,
wow.
He's got it, and they finally put a stop to the 10-round run.
That would have been a catastrophe to lose that in that fashion, especially with Electronic doing so much work. You're right, Boomich a little early on. It could have waited for the bomb to be planted, but manages to hold on with the USP in the end, and look at Electronic in this spot. 1, 2. They did a good job to jump up over top of the Vespa and get onto the Graveyard position, but Electronic was... well aware of what was going on and getting the communication to him, so it's going to be Gambit that now have to respond. They didn't get the bomb down either. That is the key thing with Boomich just allowing that. Now they can't force in this round, so there is, I suppose, some silver lining to him being so aggressive and not allowing that to happen, but even still, he could have done that as he was planting, Jason. It might have been a little calmer.
Yeah, it scared me. What a round from Electronic, though. Unarmored pistols for Gambit. And Perfecto just holding a nade, waiting for Boomich to spot one. Other than that, a pretty passive defense from NaVi. Deep into the bomb site. No one spotting brackets. They're spotting far back. And obviously, as we can see, the same at Banana. Just jumping over the half wall.
Smoke out for Boomich. Hobbit, Shiro, Exile, all toward Banana, and NaVi going to join them. It looks like Inters is even going to go the long way back around Mona Lisa and through the kitchen. Jumps off the bridge. Stylish, man. Perfecto with the shoulder peek to try and drop down smoke CT. Sees it now. He'll put it in position. That allows Boomich the information. And with the MP9, 2 good headshots. Perfecto comes back around knowing that they might even try and swing and wrap the site. Blindly, Inters fires through the smoke, though, to get Boomich down with his Glock. And Simple and Perfecto are on the spot, though, and we're back to 10-7.
Yeah, a little bit of gap in that smoke that Boomich didn't expect. It's all good. Here comes the buy for Gambit. 10-7 lead. Although, again, Boomich is able to make up a pretty decent amount of bonus cash with the SMG. M4s for Electronic and Simple, FAMAS for Boomich, and 2 SMGs still on Perfecto and Bit. They've got plenty of nades. Likewise, for the Gambit side of things, just 1 Galil on NaVi with full kits of nades across the board.
Exile holding at bottom of Banana. And there'll be no action in that direction from NaVi. So we talked about how NaVi had that bonus going on so early with their SMGs in the first half. Well, they'll get a chance to try something similar again, this time against AKs and 1 Galil. Simple. Do like this balcony position, the off angle, able to drop down and extinguish the quad. That even, some ways, makes it better if they were to walk out boiler door right now, because he would have a conceal to slip away.
Standard stuff so far. Simple. It's going to have a chance here. Flashbangs come out. None going to get him quite yet. Got to be careful. When is his time? There's the nade. There's the peek. Hobbit. Now he's got to give it up. HE to drop down into boiler, but no one's re-peeking into that. Hobbits transferred around through halls. And this A bomb site is in a lot of trouble. 3 players from Gambit to wrap.
Flash goes back in. Simple. Relocation works well. They knew they gave up the arch, but he wasn't expecting 3 players on that side. Why so many? Exile gets the kill in return as Bit and Electronic will keep things calm and controlled. Hobbit trying desperately to drop down and take out 2. Can't set his aim fast enough to Electronic, who has been an anchor in the pits, and it's now 2 rounds the difference.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Simple never expected that much of a force to be coming around the bomb site. Expected it to just be the 2 and to be done with it. But even still, just those 2 kills are so massive. That's so much danger and so much power out of this hit taken away. Good job from Bit and Electronic, doubled up in pit as well. 10-8, the lead has dwindled to 2. Again, NaVi getting a hot start in the early stages of the half.
Nade down toward alt mid. Not a bad guess. But it does only 3 damage. Okay, 4, actually. It took Shiro down 1. So, 4 it is. We'll give it to you. They'll jump out middle, get the half-wall control. Sov thrown out by Bits. He'll follow it up, but dinked as well. He's on 15. Can't be as aggressive in this position, and they've actually slipped through in Arch. If he's not aware of that call, the library is a massive problem for them, and he'll play inside of the site instead to not have his back exposed, and that communication has been certainly considered. As you can see, Electronic positioning to make sure no one's going to wrap around from the library side. We also do indeed still have Simple here. So the fact that Electronic's out of pit this time, it's still a good position for the CTs. And the B players are aware as well that CT was open, so they aren't going to leave just yet. They're going to hold their position, and they may not even get that far because Simple is doing all of the work, finds a third, enters with the Deagle, is really just about to hit a splendid shot. Okay, there we go. We're all there in the end.
That's well done from Simple. If they're coming up lane like that, Bit only has, what, like 15 HP, and he's the one who's got to watch from on top of the box. He can't be dedicated to a fight. His only option is to bait them into Electronic. That could have been actually really difficult to handle this hit if it weren't for Simple being able to grab 2 in lane and 1 up in the halls. So fair play from the graveyard position. 10-9. And Shiro's back with an AWP in hand. Simple has yet to bring that out for the CT side.
Hobbit already inside of the apartment stairs. Bounce smoke. Saw Nafny actually throwing this one in the pregame just to make sure he had the lineup perfect. It's the edge of that logo or emblem on the wall. It'll bounce out and cover off the Cubby side. The advantage of throwing it from that close, obviously. He's a little bit closer to swing on it as well than if he threw it from the top side of alt mid. It's always interesting when you see players throwing smokes in pregame, because you think like, man, you should already know that, but sometimes they're just making sure they got it down pat. Of course they know it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a variety of things. Could be just like someone's flashbang was a little bit off in the previous game, so just confirming, or maybe they're changing it just a little bit to block a specific angle, whatever it might be. Maybe they want a little bit of a gap somewhere. Perfecto and Boomich to defend. Yes.
Well, we'll come back to it because you're right. This is about to happen. This take is Perfecto's got to drop the utility as Boomich is ready, boosted up, and gets the first shot. Perfecto then has to extinguish him out of position. And now the take comes in, Jason.
Oh, yeah. Perfecto holding the line. They're going to chase him down. I don't know if they saw Boomich, but they certainly nade him very well. Perfecto's got one. Now they know where Boomich is. There's the flashbang, but it doesn't blind Shiro. Bomb's going to go down with just 7 seconds remaining, and it's a 3-on-3. 1 Molotov for the CT side to use, and it might all be down to this banana fight.
Might be, but Shiro is AWP in this position as well. Simple gets him through the wall. That's lovely on the M4 as Shiro flicked back. Tried so desperately as he'd already checked off that position and wanted to look further into the corner. Exile now on the site, erased by Bit, sliding in, and Bit watch. Well, shut down, but it opens up a very important position for Electronic to come in. We've got a tie game at 10-10, another 5-round streak for NaVi, and this is where Gambit opened up in the first half. We'll see if they can do it again. Back to that pregame discussion, the only thing that I think, and look, those are pretty standard positions for smokes to pop, But if you are seeing them do it and maybe it's something new for them, you're right. If they're just adjusting it, okay, then if you've demo reviewed, you know that they throw those. But if it's something new that he's like, oh, I'm going to try this today, and you do it in the pregame, I always think like, well, why would you show the opponent, right? Because they might get a tell, some sort of read from the sound cue that they might have otherwise been unaware of. But yeah, these guys have played each other enough. I know you're going to answer with that, but still, that's every time I see it, that's my thought. It's like,
I don't think it's as bad as you. I don't think it's as bad of a thing as you think it might be. Some players just like to warm up by throwing smokes rather than run around killing each other and team killing.
Yeah,
it can be as innocent as that. Well, a tough hold and a pretty tough retake, but you're right. Mid does go down to a 1-for-1, but does open things up for Electronic and Simple to get into the site. We're all tied.
Simple will go behind the balcony railing. Do you remember the original version of Inferno that we had that still had the arches and the closed off ace site? There used to be a pillar back there that you could jump to in the pit from the balcony, and it was an incredibly strong angle.
It's no more.
I'm almost glad they removed that one, to be fair. Because it was above any smoke that would land. Even if the smoke itself was on balcony, because you were far enough back from it that you'd see them jumping down, and all you had to do to avoid flashes really was look outside the map, so. Bit's gonna sneak back in toward the arch. This could be a problem, though, because the timing is that they are at the top side of middle. They'll clear out Cubby. He's gonna hear that, and he knows they're running around, so he sneaks out. No one else there to trade, though? No one to go that aggressively, and Bit's gonna get away.
Oh, he comes back for more.
For another.
Yeah, it's a big double kill. I thought he was going to get a flashbang from a teammate, and he didn't even ask for it. Didn't even need it. Simple still got one. Double pit. One at the B bomb site, one in CT spawn who can traverse between the bomb sites real quick. This is almost, this is such a tough round for Gambit to break back into.
Molotov burning at the feet of Electronic, but again, Simple still on the balcony, one and drop. That's all he has to do. Jump up, watch. Good flash. Self-flash back in, and Electronic in position as well, because I was going to say, watch that side of the cart if he gets too aggressive to try and swing above at balcony, but all laughs and smiles for Simple as they're enjoying themselves.
Yeah, a good aggressive play, too, with the clock winding down. So, I mean, even if that doesn't go as clean as you would have liked, the fact that they have to stop and fight him at that position, just, I mean, it's preventing them. They have to get in the site in 3 seconds, and he's just making sure that doesn't happen. Even if he goes down, they wouldn't have the time. 1 round lead now for NaVi. They fought back. It's been 6 straight. Both teams having real solid defenses.
Yeah, those 5 rounds now. Look, they may have lost 10 in a row and only, picked up the early rounds and never clawed back in. But, man, those 5 rounds are going to pay off now for NaVi. If their defense is going to be this strong, that start really defines the whole game for them. And I know we make it sound bad 10 in a row. Okay, the fact that it's 10 in a row is worse than the fact that it was a 5-0 lead that they blew, because we see 5-0 scramble all the time with the economy, right? That's really one gun win and then the reset, and then you win a second gun, and that's about it. So, but it's more the fact that it was 10 straight that's a bit more, or was a bit more concerning, I should say, is NaVi will swallow a nade that's thrown toward the library position. Jumping up, I think he would have spotted Simple, and Simple knows now that he's there as the deagle shots rain through onto the position that he formerly occupied.
Ooh,
Shiro.
That's a spicy shot and almost doubled up. Bit, that's a narrow miss onto his brain. Look at the position of NaVi, though. That's an X factor in this round. He's a great pivot point for Gambit. If they attack B, he can cut off rotations. If they attack A, he can cut off rotations.
Turn around, though. Inter's getting one back to try and make this still an awkward situation. Man advantage and double that up as Simple's only able to get one. They swing behind. These deagles are absolutely devastating. Hobbits now inside of the boiler position. Tech 9 only, and I think NaVi's out of here. They're done with it.
Yeah, that's a real tough round. Navi gave up a lot of space to allow NaVi to get in towards library. They had control of brackets. I think Electronic had felt the pressure like it was going to be an A hit, and then wanted to push and find intel to see if they were still lining up for an A attack or if they'd fallen back to B. He wanted that information. Unfortunately, he took a bullet to the face for it. And that kind of opened everything up. Simple did his best to pull things back, but could only win the initial fight. He had the right reads, just too many opponents. So 11-11, Gambit not allowing Navi's lead to stretch more than one.
We'll see if they can add to it. On NaVi, having saved those 2 AKs, they'll have all rifles to work with. They don't elect to bring out the AWP for Simple. They could have done so. They had the money. But it's rifles, it's aggression, and they're expecting... you have to assume that they're expecting the trades, right? They're expecting to play more defensively and have to be swarmed by Gambit. So far, no one's going forward to try and secure any picks. And I suppose it's Simple's call, ultimately, in these situations, Jason, because he knows what he's feeling. And we know he's good on every gun.
Hobbit eats some early nade damage. Double nade coming from the balcony and over the roof. Nice way to soften someone up before the round truly begins. And I think this is a defense that Gambit hasn't had to go against yet. A bracket's presence. As Simple as trying to play anti-flash. She knows the mid-take is coming in. There's the Molotov for quad.
Run boost across the top of Banana. It's like when you're a child, and you sit on your father's shoulders and he throws you into the water. Well, it's this time he has been thrown to the sharks again, as NaVi gets taken down by Boomich. Hobbit's going to rotate back very quickly toward Boiler and try and get over toward A, but A has the positioning covered off.
Oh, no.
By Bits and Electronic, who's been so good here, but Electronic this time flushed out by the Molotov. Tries to look away, expecting a flash on top of it. He only gets one this time, but Bit is in the pits. I take that back. He's not. I'm sorry. It rhymed and it got stuck in my head. He's inside the site, but he's gone now. Hobbit's got the kill, and it's a 2-on-2. Simple. He's going to work out from Library, but he's going to wait just a minute as well because Perfecto is trying to get position. Oh, Hobbit. Oh, Hobbit. This is an easy kill. This is done now. Knife out. You hate to see it if he gets turned and spotted, but Hobbit getting the job done, leaves it all on Simple to go aggressive, knows the Chiro's in the back of the site, baits out the first shot on the op, but doesn't want to overcommit to the peak. Hobbit's not in position, so he should be trying to push this man down. He does get him now, and he knows Hobbit was upstairs in the apartments, but he had the option to go both directions, so how does Simple possibly discern where he's gone? He won't. He'll get the op and get away instead, and it's going to be the round to Gambit and the lead as well. Does he get Hobbit down? Does the gun get away? Simple's got the shot. Bomb's gonna blow up. He's got 13. He's lost the rifle as well.
Oh no, that is so tough to deal with. Perfecto. Never expected him to come back from halls. That was a call out for sure. When Bit goes down to the bomb site, 1 halls, 1 in the site, and they were 1 second away. That bomb gets planted with 4 seconds on the clock. I thought that smoke from Electronic was gonna straight up win the round, block access to everything, but that kill was so key. And Perfecto just never expected Hobbit to fall back to go Boiler. It could have been checked and cleared. Instead, it's a 1-round lead for Gambit.
Simple would have loved to have that AWP in this round, no doubt about it. Boomich a shot back through the smoke.
Well done. Quiet on the map, just past 1 minute. Boomich and Perfecto have the one Molotov to slow down anything that comes towards B, but at the end of Halls, how aggressive does Gambit want to be? Smoke, probably a pop flash to make it feel like a Halls pop. That's a big kill. This is all important. One more, and they can seal it. A dink. Oh, an electronic. He lives to the task. He steps up. But Perfecto needs to get back. That Molotov's going to be critically important. It's not going to block off anything. They've already crossed over to water. Spam coming in. And Bit's got one more. That's the dink to clean up. And here comes a boost, a late boost. It's going to stop the plant. This round's all NaVi.
All NaVi, 13 seconds. Exile desperately will run forward for the ball, but he's missed the jump back up from water. And the flash coming in to collect up the kills. Boomich and Perfecto, the ones that get the scoreboard. But yeah, solid job. Electronic, that first dink, I don't even think he realized it. And then the second player just runs to the crosshair. And it's just so much damage. Look at this. Tap. Okay, second guy's up here. I hear him. Yeah, solid work, and this is brilliant as well. Boom, it's just in time to deny the plant. That bomb goes down. You might have a different scenario, but the utility was good on the retake anyway, was it not?
Yeah,
12-12.
So would have been a bit tough, but that's great for NaVi. Taking out enough bodies to make it easier on themselves at the very least. 12-12, and look at this. No money in the bank for Gambit. 4 players at $0. This round's critical for the offense.
It's going to already work out from middle and not see anyone and then fall back immediately and cover off from quad. Inside of boiler already, though, you do have Hobbit in position, and that's why the Molotov's gone down to formerly where Bit was playing as they try and clear out that quad side and wrap around. Look at the damage already done on Exile. Nafany up by the smoke. They'll hear Simple firing through, but they aren't going to push it. No counter flash to try and run him down before he gets inside of the archway. Still, though, they get him. Nafany holding the angle as Simple repeaks, but Bit's responding. And now it's Electronic, where he's shone so many times, but not with the AK. Gets taken down. It's Shiro with 2 on the rifle, not the AWP. NaVi is running away, Jason. They've got to hold on to the AKs that they have.
Yeah, because they don't have any losing bonus built up as well, so they're only going to get, what, the 1,400. And they can drop some weapons over to their teammate, especially Perfecto. And they'll need it if they want to fight back in the next round, but that's a great hit from Gambit. Electronic and Simple neutralized, and too much for Bit to do. 13 rounds. This is more like it. A back-and-forth slugfest between these two teams. The #1 and #2 team in the world.
Yeah, and even if Gambit might have won the most recent series, yes, NaVi is capable and have beaten them before that on a streak. It's always close and exciting. Even the first game when it looked like it was going to get blown wide open turned out to be decent in the end, and this one's been fantastic. Nafany, this was spectacular to get Simple down as we saw him shuffling for position, and then the round fell apart from there. So we got to look into the Gambit offices. Obviously, Gambit all playing in one spot, and therefore have the exact same ping, and NaVi's a little bit more spread out, as we've seen their individual apartments and such.
Need some more trophies on those shelves, those cubbies.
Be a good spot for them. Be a good trophy cabinet. I think the technical pause is actually to make sure that earthquake stops going off by Bit, but man, it's been happening all week, so I doubt we've got any chance of that now.
Yep. That one seems to be lasting. Well, weaponry is dropped over to teammates, so NaVi, even though this is paused, they are going to be buying in this round. They are going to be fighting for it. Bit with 5,100 still yet to buy. And match is unpaused. And 3 out of the last 4 for Gambit. And all 3 of those rounds have been them getting into the bomb site. Even the round that NaVi won, they found success at getting into the bomb site, just couldn't hold on to it long enough to get the bomb planted. So Gambit's finding a decent amount of success at the end of this half again. After another hot start from NaVi, they seem to at least been able to cool them off twice on Inferno here.
Bit more back and forth this time, thankfully, though, from NaVi's side. But yeah, you're absolutely right. And the money is the deterring factor now. Same smoke again from NaVi. Two-step jump throw, bounce over, cover off cubby side. And he throws a Molotov to the opposing side of top middle, but no one's going to act on this. This is all a ruse, just trying to hold the A defenders in place while Exile will start to work up Banana. And we heard, as I said on the desk yesterday, Blade saying that he was someone they wanted to bring into the main team, which essentially now KS23 core, for a long time. Never materialized, but man, oh man, has he ever developed as of late. One of the many reasons that Gambit has reached world #1 status, perfecto. Up on top, waiting it out, looking away so that utility doesn't blind him. They don't check it. Boomich is going to steal the aggro away, and that's when Perfecto strikes. Exile down, 30 HP for Boomich as he swings out, jumping even with that MP9 to try and deter those crosshairs, make them move, but they move in all the right ways as Inters, Shiro, and Hamid each find kills. Perfecto to hold with Electronic and try and get back in on the retake, down to a 2-on-2 already as Shiro falls, and Perfecto starts to rotate back through the chapel just as his teammate will get in position. Perfecto has the only kit currently in play. But they're running out of utility. In fact, none at all left for them, and they walk in without the smokes, and that means Inters is able to drop them both down. 14 for Gambit.
They had the initial fights, NaVi. They had it all. They had a 5-on-3 after Boomich and Perfecto each get one boosted up inside of the site. And then just drop the ball after that. They try and reboost Simple. That position was already well known. Perfecto gets the kill and drops off, and it comes back in. Gambit didn't even realize he fell, so of course they're going to clear it again, and that little miscue cost them so much. Great round from Inters, 14-12. And NaVi have to buy everything into it, and he's already dropped by Shiro with the AWP. Desperate scenario for NaVi after such a good half.
Exile again to chase down Boomich. CZ75 for him, and this time he won't run out of ammo because he never got to fire a shot as he gets taken out very quickly on the half wall.
This is starting to look like it's going to be a really painful loss for NaVi. I mean, Duncan called it. He said they like to lose their own map pick. They start out the first half 5-0. They start out the second half 6-0. But Gambit takes over after both of those runs. 10-0 run in the first half. And at the moment, it's 4-1 in the last 5. But they might just go on this little mini run to close out the entire map.
Well, it looks like they'll at least get overtime point with it because Perfecto's down and that bomb will work its way inside of the B site.
Bomb has been planted.
Bit just desperately looking for a shot from far, far away at CT spawn. Does spot and hits NaVi, but round done. Mirage, Jason. Mirage in the distance.
It's looming. Yeah, we can see it.
Wouldn't say it's even that far away.
It's got cold water.
Electronic, I don't think, left that position the entire round. I was really hoping someone would walk by and donate a gun for him, but no one has, and this is it. Map point for Gambit.
Yeah, there's like, it's weird. I don't even think there's anything that NaVi can really drop that's going to make too much of a difference. Everyone's sitting around 2,500, so the weaponry they can pick up isn't super powerful. FAMAS on Perfecto. Scout on Simple. And yeah, we're going to get a timeout. That makes sense from NaVi. Only their second used. Got to have a deep talk about which fights they want to try and force first. Which players and which setups are they thinking are going to take contact in this round? Where do they want to put the stronger weapons?
Well, we'll see what they can come up with. But they're going to get back into it now, and you can see it on screen. Bit already buying. But not buying much. Deagle for him. Simple Scout. Perfecto, FAMAS. And you're right. Where do these more powerful weapons position themselves. Boomich has nothing. He's got to buy something, surely. He's got 2450, so I'm sure he'll do that before this round gets back underway. We're still waiting for the ready up.
And a Gambit timeout.
Yeah, they called it on the back of the NaVi one.
Ooh, getting intense. All right. Plenty of money, plenty of buys for the Gambit side of things. And NaVi got to start right here. They actually passed the scout over to Bit. Simple's got the Deagle. 3-round lead for Gambit. 3 chances to close this out. A big contrast to what the 12 rounds that NaVi had to close out Dust 2. This is still doable comeback for NaVi to win 3 straight right here at the end and force overtime. But it's obviously got to start right now. And it's going to start with 4 players towards the B bomb site.
NaVi down at the bottom side of middle with the Molotov's already out. The nade will cover off the tree, but a bounce nade that lands at Sandbags tickles Boomich, and that actually makes him a little bit aggressed and annoyed as he tries to peek back down. Get information and potentially a headshot. Shiro and NaVi ready to take top mid. Shiro this, or excuse me, rather NaVi this time. Not with that smoke in his hands, but a Molotov now. Okay, he's going to go to it.
The stack that NaVi has called at the B bomb site, if they hold on to it, it's the right call for the moment. This all feels fake-ish from Gambit taking mid, but equally, they probably haven't really picked their final move. And with NaVi having an easy access and easy control of brackets, Gambit's going to call for them to rotate back towards A. The next stage of utility is used to start progressing around ramp side. Smoke and arches, Molotov in the cubby. Simple hears all this. And there's nowhere good he can position himself if he doesn't have 1 or 2 more teammates committed to this site defense with him.
So back off Electronic. Flash for Simple. Who goes out too far. Didn't expect him to be so close. Hadn't heard anything. And that's NaVi to get both on the A side. And it might just be the end of the map as Bit, Boomich, Imperfecto will get on the horse and start trotting back over toward the A site, but Exile knows they're going to be coming that direction, and he pushes down towards CT. Didn't see the second player on Highway, but falls off smartly into Library. And I think the writing is on the wall, if not in the pages of those books, as Exile rotates back in, and very safely they will control the situation. Chiro with the kill. Exile to close the map, fires a little